All right. It's PROCONversations podcast. It's your boy, I love you, Jace.
This is Jaquan McMillan
Mm.
or Derek, but yeah,
We
this is
back.
another episode.
Another episode. And we talking about a few things in the NBA. We didn't get to touch on the LaMelo Ball trade because it happened while we were already
Sleep.
after we already we had recorded.
We were already asleep.
We're already asleep. We had already basically alluded to it, like the news came up um during the second round of the draft. That's when Derek wound up finding the tweet. We start talking about it a little bit, but we didn't have any confirmation of it going through yet. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk more in depth about the Giannis to Miami trade, and we're also gonna discuss Jalen Brown. We're gonna be talking about um numerous of things, free agency predictions, this, that, and the third. Let's get straight into it. All right, man. LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has been traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Nas Reed and some picks. Let's call it what it is. We ain't gotta go all in depth. It's just some picks. We honestly thought that Nas Reed would get that starting position in Minnesota, being that there's no Julius Randle. We're like, finally he gets that starting spot. You know what I'm saying? It legit, don't have to fight for it with Cat. Don't have to fight for it with Julius. Finally get the starting spot. Finally get to be unleashed from the six-man role. And soon as, oh, look at this, on the way to Charlotte for LaMelo Ball. Some dude, a guy that can give you 27 and 7 any night at least.
By any means necessary.
Human highlight has some of the best gravity in the NBA. Not gonna lie, never
Finally
looked like
healthy
this.
now.
And he's starting to be healthy. It's starting to be a little bit more healthy. Need to wear those hot tops. Need to link in with Curry. That's fine. That's what I'm gonna say. He going to the West Coast, West Conference. Go ahead and link in with Curry if he ain't already
For
tapped
now.
in. See what's popping with him. Get them Kobe's, get them Currys, protect them ankles, bro. I think I'm gonna just give you my quick thoughts. I think they're gonna be one of the most explosive duos in the league. I think the chemistry is gonna be A1. They already seem to be cool, have a good rapport. It's not something that's like he's the super cool, quiet guy and he's the hyperactive guy. Nah, nah. They
What's
both
his reputation?
they both are out there. And
Outspoken.
I can see I wouldn't say it's outspoken as the other guy we're gonna be talking about later. But
Personalities.
very open personalities and I definitely see them clashing. I definitely see them gelling pretty well on and off the court, and I definitely feel like it'll be an amazing fit. Just like I said, the gravity that LaMelo Ball already has, adding that to Anthony Edwards, you finally get to play off ball. You finally, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like how they were when Mike Conley first got there. He was a little less older, a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, agile, and was basically able to play make for Rudy Gobert and the rest of the team that's at in third. Kind of similar to that, but at a way higher degree. Melo Ball's 6'7", no pun intended. Can get to the rim at any time. Could pull up any kind of shot. Has an amazing scope for the rest of the offense. So basically make any pass. Spatial awareness is crazy. So I do like this team is going to be successful. It's just they do have to find a replacement in the big man position. You just lost two pivotal big guys. I wonder if Denver is going to look at this and be like, we don't really have to make any crazy changes because we keep running into them. That's also like our biggest op. that's running into these guys. But you also had to think about Wembanyama, so they may still make changes. They've been reporting they're still making changes. That Jokic is going to be holding out, signing that extension until they make more changes. So yeah, guess is my quick thoughts on it. So what do you think about LaMelo Ball to the Timberwolves?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do it due to total shock. Me having woke up prior to making the video, and now you can hear me clearer now, and I won't be in the dark, and I'm not on the move. I think it's good because they now got a much younger point guard who plays at a very high level, a playmaker. I feel like that's something that wasn't really something we was seeing just like out of niggas like Julius Randle or something. I'm like, bro, we kind of need a point to like be doing this. Like, I don't care what motherfuckers say about this day and age, bro. I prefer the playmaker to be the actual fucking point. So I think he feels a lot of the needs they have. He brings in a lot of offensive power. Now, granted, he's going from Charlotte to Minnesota, so he's definitely going to deal with a lot of. So I expect him to be in the playoffs this time, and so he's going to get a taste of the playoffs and gotta see how that goes. How he is in that environment. Cause I get it, play-in is one thing, but game of 7 series, that's a whole different story. But yeah, I definitely think this is a good move. Now I would say it's like time to like I would say probably bring in another person to fill the net. Cause you honestly have like two things that have just been emptied out. Both of them are in the front court, and that's like you now no longer have Julius Randle nor Nas Reed, who are Nas is in a better situation than Julius, but still. So I'll say, yeah, thought that they like bolster their front court. If they wish to ship out Rudy, I guess now's the time. I would say for the Minnesota, I think it's like time to boost up the front court, unless they plan on seeing how Joan Beringer is going to do this upcoming season. But yeah, I would say, if anything, Minnesota focus on boosting that up, bolstering. I think that's right. In terms of that going forward. As for the Hornets, my thing with that is I only see no other. They don't really have no playmaker on LaMelo's level, honestly. And here's the thing, they're on a good little come up, and I feel like it's definitely be helpful that they have Nas, and they still got Khan, they still got Brandon. And I want to say also Miles Bridges still. I don't know if he's still under contract or not, but yeah, they still got him. They got Musa. I think that's pronounced. So that's a good look for having. They brought back Kobe White, who I want to, it's gonna be a fan favorite, bro. Feared on the roads or whatever the fuck that nigga said.
You don't look too happy, bro. By that Kobe White. That's why he held him late, y'all. This nigga still.
Not Kobe White, bro. But so yeah, I think
y'all got Josh Giddey. Happy.
Okay, I feel, but yeah, I think the Hornets are definitely in a good spot, but I feel like they're still gonna feel that they're gonna feel the impact of what LaMelo was able to bring to the table when he was there. That's what I would say. And said him gone is gonna definitely leave a huge hole in there. So we'll see how that happens. And, free agency is around the corner. So hey, let's see.
All right, man. Let's roll back into the Miami trade. I know we did a quick reaction, but let's just look at what that means. Right now, the only people that got under contract is got Giannis, Bam, Andrew Wiggins. If he opts out of his player option, you got a couple guys on the bench. Right now, you basically are empty. Like you empty the clip just to get Giannis over there. And what people are not understanding is, and Davion mentioned, you've had a similar situation to this already. When LeBron, Chris Bosh, and D Wade got there, they didn't have no damn bench. They went and signed Big Z. They had Mike Bibby on that team, bro. On that first year, they wasn't hitting on shit for real. Like, I mean, they was cool, but it wasn't the most amazing team until that next year when they really read up and they went and got goddamn Shane Battier, Mike Miller, James Jones, and the whole crew came through on them vet minimums, less contracts. Chris Anderson comes through. Then the next year you go get Ray Allen. You know what I'm saying? You didn't really. Norris Cole comes through the picture. They didn't start out with a legit squad when that team linked up, when they first linked up that summer. So I think you should just give it time. You still got a lot of people that's going to want to play with this team. One of them may be LeBron James, who originally, when he went to the Lakers and they came up with the plan, Magic Johnson and them, it was supposed to be LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Kawhi. and LeBron playing the point guard position, and them two being the main scorers. LeBron gets to fill that gap with this team. No, it's not Kawhi and it's not Anthony Davis, but it's one of the best power forwards of all time. It's one of the best current centers in the league. Bam, Kobe. Like, what are we talking about? The man did score already 83 points. So I could definitely see him fitting into their plans. I get it. You may want to go back to LA, be the third option, and they build around. I feel like it's too many questions in LA. Yeah, Bam and Giannis gonna need the ball. AR and Luka gonna need the ball. The difference between them and them, they can play legit defense over the lockdown defense. Go over there and get with them. Davion Mitchell being your guard. Come on, bro. Davion Mitchell gonna be your A.V. Bradley, locking them up and knocking them down. That'll be legit one of the best teams in the NBA overnight if they get LeBron James. You're gonna have people flying in, put a damn Heat jersey on. Udonis Haslem might want to suit up again. I just say, just give it a chance, just wait it out, and I feel like this team is gonna resolve itself. No lie. All right, Derek, what about you? What's the real? Now we have a little bit of time to think about it. What's your thoughts on the Giannis to Miami trade?
There's definitely be a price to pay. I just gotta think of we've seen trades like this happen before, and motherfuckers was able to make it work. Like when was traded CP3 to the Rockets. Do y'all remember how many players the Rockets sent in exchange for that nigga? It was actually damn near half the fucking team, bro. I swear. Now some of them didn't make it, some did. Like Pat Bev, man, it could. And they
Rockets,
both.
not Rockets. Pat Bev, Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell. I forgot who else was in that shit.
Yeah, they sent a whole bunch of people in exchange for him. So I don't think it's going to be, well, if everything goes right, and coaching is not really a worry for me from Miami. So, because it's very clear that nigga Pat Riley, he's spent years testing Eric Spoelstra's patience on what he can do with whatever roster. So I feel like they can, with the right moves to get the right people to come in and be reserves and such, I feel like they can construct a good roster for this upcoming season, or at least something serviceable. Because I could see like it not being, I could see it being this upcoming season. Well, I won't say upcoming, but this next season to be like at least like a stepping stone. And then after that, get more pieces that you need. But yeah,
Real quick, what the hell happened to Sam Decker?
he got shipped out to Europe. What the fuck?
Because I see him a part of this trade. And DeAndre Liggins. I forgot about DeAndre Liggins. Man, bro. That is crazy, bro.
DeAndre Liggins was in this?
Yes, DeAndre Liggins was involved in this trade.
Yeah, see Kyle Wilter, and Darren Hilliard. Like, was he part of Villanova team? Nah, it was before that. So I remember Darren Hilliard. I remember him on the fucking Rockets, though.
Wasn't supposed to. That's all it was. We were supposed to blink that out after that Chris Paul trade happened.
Yeah, Sam Decker did not make it, bro. That nigga last played in fucking Spain, but he is living life over there. So, yeah, at the end of the day, man, hey, shout out Sam Decker, I guess.
Shout out my nigga Sam. All right, before we get into that, we got another trade that happened. I knew it was going to happen. Didn't know it was going to be the Pistons. Isaiah Joe off them books, man. OKC rings in another couple of second round picks to make more space for the people they got over there. I was wrong about one thing. I said they was going to basically get rid of Isaiah Hartenstein. They used this trade right here to be able to resign Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, that don't mean he will stay on this team. I will tell you that right now. That don't mean he will stay on this team. They could resign this man. He'll be gone later down in the season. Be on those pieces. If they not where they supposed to be. Where they feel like they're supposed to be, before All-Star. But we'll see how the rest of the league shapes up. We got free agency in 2 days. I feel like this is a great move, though, for Detroit. It worked out for both sides, honestly, but I feel like it's a good move for Detroit. They can go back to, like 2 seasons ago, they had the two true legit 3-point shooters and Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. Then you basically lose that because of legal trouble and 1-1 to go to the Nuggets. So now you got Duncan Robinson to replace that shooting. Now you just added in another shooter into that gap. And you're possibly going to be going after more guys. You know what I'm saying? There's more guys out there. I wouldn't be surprised if recently released Jonathan Isaac winds up as a Detroit Piston. He definitely fits that quota, you know what I'm saying, of that city, especially on the defensive side of things. Who wouldn't want that guy?
He's gonna be Stu, but still,
You know what I'm saying?
attitude wise.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about that. It's a quick reaction. What about you?
I'm not surprised it was the Pistons. It became very apparent that they needed shooters. So like it wasn't surprised that it was Detroit of all people, especially after they lost out on the short-lived Reeves sweepstakes. So because the Lakers was like shit. Either we can get him, or he goes to like Detroit of all, if anything. And we know Detroit is a contender out on the East, so that would definitely been a big pickup. I still think Isaiah Joe's a big pickup, but they still need basically a number two. So I would expect Detroit to find that number two somewhere else. They still need. I won't say they just need shooters, but outside of shooters, they still need like a legit number two option out there to alleviate some pressure off of Cade. For OKC is also predictable because they needed to make space. Now, did I expect them to resign Hartenstein? No, I did not. Do I expect them to trade Hartenstein? If it was going to be anytime sooner, I would have expected that, but there hadn't been any announcements, so they just resigned him. They're intending to resign him. So yeah,
Oh no, it
okay.
won't be
See,
right now. Hell no, it'll be later on after the fact.
I feel like if it was a sign and trade, it would have been like
I'm not saying that, bro. I'm saying later on in the season.
I know.
Sign and trade would be right now, around this time or free agency, and they wouldn't even agree to this extension yet.
Because essentially they're like when it's sign trade, it's like I'm more agreeing to the contract. These motherfuckers gonna give me, not y'all. So yeah, even if it's like comes down to we plan on trading them later, then like why give them? I wouldn't give them like a 3-year deal straight off riff. If the idea is to trade them later this season, I would have been like gave them like all right, team friendly deal
You
and
gotta give
like
them something, bro. You can't just let the nigga walk. The same thing with Austin Reeves. You can't just let these people walk, bro.
yeah. Also, I can let him walk if the idea was just to straight up just trade him though. And like at that point, I would negotiate the sign and trade if anything, rather than just give him a contract and be like, I might trade you later this season. But hey, I don't know what OKC's going on. They could have actually like are like, all right, we actually want to keep him. If that's the case, yeah, go ahead with that. And considering they resigned Hardenstein, there's no way they're signing like really anybody else for real. If they do, the deal's not going to be player friendly. It's gonna be more team friendly. It's like, hey, bro, we gotta save some money, bro. I'll say for now, this is somewhat a good deal. The only reason I'm saying somewhat is because they drafted a 7-3 big in the first round. So this is my thoughts.
Legit. They could use that as basically learning from two of the best bigs. Not the best bigs, but two best of the best bigs in the league. So it's a pretty good deal from that standpoint. But yeah, let's move on from that into Jaylen Brown, man. As you all know, Jaylen Brown was involved in trade talks in 2022 for Kevin Durant. That didn't happen. They somehow resolved that within themselves internally and was able to come together and win an NBA championship just 2 years later. Now, Jaylen Brown went on to be that finals MVP for that championship. Jason Tatum goes on to get injured in the next playoffs. And you're looking at Jaylen Brown being the number one option for most of your season. I have technical difficulties over here. As I was saying, basically, you have Giannis. You have Jaylen Brown being your number one option for most of that season, and essentially, nobody in their right mind had Boston being a number two seed. Most people had Boston out of the playoffs. They had written them off. There's no, you have no Drew Holiday, you have no Porzingis, and you have no Jason Tatum. Yeah, you just lost three of the guys of your starting lineup, and that was a part of your championship team. And you already lost the year before. Yeah, y'all up out of here, bud. Get chopped. It's over with. Yo, he leads them to the second seed, mostly by himself. Jason Tatum didn't come until like the last 20 games. Let's be serious. and he still wasn't himself when he was. And Jalen Brown is at some point was number 5, number 4. He was one of the top seeds as far as in MVP voting. At some points was number 2.
But in regards to the Jalen Brown situation, I definitely feels like a slap in the face. Someone like him is definitely completely unnecessary to like move him. I feel because it's because I doubt Boston's gonna get what Boston's asking in return is doesn't really seem like they're trying to at least get like a second option. They're at least looking at like first round picks and stuff. So I'm like, bro, are y'all trying to rebuild or what? Because y'all were just a second seed, and Jason Tatum is definitely gonna be 100% by the time this next season starts. I'm just wondering like why, what's going on with this? It's saying he's having a bit of a like bit of a strained relationship with Brad Stevens, their manager. Well, I want to say he's the president, their top executive basically. So I'm just wondering like what why now, like what's going on, and the fact, and I definitely think it's really really disrespectful, but the fact that somebody is just out of the way, an analytical guy is saying Jalen Brown would be the seventh best player in the team. How can you say that when a dude just led the team to a number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference? No seventh best player is doing that. We're talking about a Finals MVP, Eastern Conference MVP, and like this is clearly not no seventh best. You can say like he has his weaknesses and such, but he ain't no seventh best. He can do it all, not all, but he can do most, more than whatever you can ask of him. And you're saying he's the seventh best. I feel like that's ridiculous. And motherfuckers is looking to trade him. Because if he wants to stay, he definitely want to stay. He hasn't blatantly asked for no trade. It's just been like straight up, just y'all are are the ones looking at something to replace this with. Like this, like you look even dumber than Nico, almost as dumb as Nico. Cause y'all use, I don't think you use excuses, and they're excuses that people could somewhat agree with. Now, the trade you got, like she got in return, it didn't work out at all. And what these guys are asking for makes more sense than what Nico got in return for Luca. I just think this whole situation is just completely unwarranted, and it's just like you are legit tearing apart something that could have been a dynasty, but instead y'all are, I don't know, got on their feelings or something. But hey, this shit is ridiculous, bro. Not gonna hold you. Taylor Brown definitely deserves more than this, and it's like I wouldn't want to stay if I was him. Yeah, this is how y'all gonna treat him. Fucking 2 years removed from leading y'all to another championship. So yeah, that's that's my take on that. So, and I'll say with that, That's been another episode of Pro Conversations. It's been Derek, and I love you, Jace, and we out.
Oh.